Hello, welcome back to Access. My name's Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, day 2 of Gamescom.
Yes,
2019.
it is. And you finally make an appearance.
Here I am on the channel. I've been here the whole time, and I can prove it because I've seen a game.
Okay, just the one.
Disintegration, which has been bubbling around for a little while, but now there are details on what it's about.
You've actually got me here, Nath. I want to know about Disintegration.
I know, haha.
So tell me.
I'm going to blow your tiny mind.
Yes.
Well, just a little bit of background before I jump into my 5 things that you need to know.
Okay. Just some things you should know.
Background things you should already know, and that it's a new shooter game, and the studio that it's from are a smaller studio made with veteran developers who have been involved in projects that you will have heard of.
Okay.
So some of them worked on the SOCOM series, which will kind of the DNA of that is kind of relevant, and we'll see why in a bit. Right, number 1, something you need to know: the story.
Yeah.
Which ties into the name. When we looked at this, Dave, it was on. There's an image floating around, and I showed you. Hey, look, this is Disintegration. You were like, "There's a robot man."
Yeah, with the blue eyes.
He's also human.
Oh.
I know, because
confirmed.
Because in the future of this fictional universe. Stuff goes wrong.
Okay.
It goes real wrong. So we run out of everything.
Right.
So
definitely fictional.
Well, yes. Yeah, I think so. We run out of everything. Fuel, primarily.
Right.
Also, snacks are gone.
No,
Everything's
I'm
gone.
out.
Scientists are like, what can we do about it? Cut everyone's brains out and put them into robots.
What?
Yeah.
Obviously that was my first thought, but I assumed my first thought was wrong.
You don't know how many other things they tried.
That will save resources. What of like food and stuff, because robots don't need to eat.
I guess,
imagining.
maybe everyone's on like battery saving mode.
Right.
So until we've like jump started the ecology again. It turns out to be a bad idea, because once you have become integrated, I believe that's what they call it. A group of people called the Rayon.
Right.
They love being robots. They think everyone should be robots.
Right.
And so that's what they do.
Right.
They make everyone into robots, and then you become. And I think that the
this
humans.
was inevitable.
The humans who were like, I'm not sure about being a robot.
Yeah.
Were worried that in sacrificing our biology to technology, we'd be made to do stuff we didn't want to do.
Right.
Would we be individuals anymore?
We could be hacked.
Or would we be part of the? And I think that's the thing. And the Rayon love that. That's what they want to do to everyone. So they go around forcibly integrating everybody.
Right.
And
like the Borg.
Yes. And you play as a rebel called Roma, and your idea is to disintegrate everybody. Disintegration.
I'm guessing disintegrating is a new concept in this universe.
I'm
it's
not,
like you either are or you're not. Is there any going back?
Don't know about that. I just think that they just want to get humanity back to, they want to restore humanity to how things were.
Yeah.
Whether they would actually be able to do that, and whether the title is just a play on words.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at the logo, it's dis and then integration, and I was like, oh, that's quite cool.
Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2, the gameplay is perhaps not what you were imagining.
Right. Okay.
And that is because I've broken this down into a couple of things. Number 1, so it's first-person element. No, sorry, we're still on number 2. First-person elements, but you hover.
Right.
You always hover using a grav cycle.
Right. Okay.
It says here in my
I'm
notes.
glad you've explained that.
So you have controls on the L1 and L2, and they're like up and down.
Right.
And there is an element of your grav cycle wants to be in a certain position. So if you let it go, you will either rise up slightly or
it returns
come down
to its
slightly.
kind of neutral space.
So getting good at controlling it, there will be some skill to that. There's a little boost on there.
Okay.
So it is recognizable as a shooter.
Yeah.
But and the same skills will come in handy. But there's a bit more sort of verticality to it. It's a bit more 3D. So there's that. And number 3, you have a crew of outlaws that you are going to control.
Okay.
And I think
hence the SOCOM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's slightly tactical. And there is really kind of streamlined. They call it a pulse, which is a pulse command. So it's one button. It's R1.
Yeah.
And you can either point to a place or go to that place.
Right.
A target. They'll attack that target.
Sort of like
an objective.
Contextual, kind of like in Apex Legends or whatever.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And when they die, they will respawn on you quite quickly.
Right.
And then in multiplayer a bit later on, if you die, then you just respawn.
So you're kind of viewing the battlefield from above and ordering your outlaws around.
Yeah, and it's weird though. So I mean, we're on a bit of a gantry here. We're about this high in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
if those people were our crew, they're not. They're just people who've been to the show
Maybe
today.
Maybe if we shout at them.
Maybe if we pulse.
No, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, number 4, there's multiplayer.
Good.
So there is a full story campaign in which you play as Roma the whole way through, and it's about the story of trying to beat the Rayone and restore humanity.
Yeah.
Then multiplayer is kind of, I think they've given themselves license to just be like, this is going to be a bit fun.
Right.
So they've said they've sort of imagined. Actually, that's my next point. So, but the main thing is it's 5v5,
Yeah.
5 human players, and then you can kind of imagine. I mean, it isn't like anything else that I've played specifically, but it has elements of. There is an element of with 5 powerful characters on the battlefield, very difficult to kill each other. There is a kind of a Overwatch kind of hero shooter feel to it a little bit. In the objective mode we played, there were 3 very clear modes that we were trying to push the objective down. It doesn't feel like there's any like one decisive play or moment,
Right.
like this real kind of those battles of kind of attrition that you get in those sorts of games.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the mode that we played, I cannot remember the name of it. Oh no, I can. It's called Retrieval. I've written it down. And it's like a version of Assault. You know, you have to grab an objective and place it on the enemy's base.
Right.
Your crew grabs it. You try and protect your crew, order them around,
Yeah.
work with the other people on your team to make sure that your crew survives to get to the objective.
And it's multiplayer, so obviously the reverse of that is the other team has
Trying to smash
they
them.
have a grav cyclist.
They have 5.
And
So 5. There are 5 human players, all with their
of
own
course.
crews.
Oh wow!
So
this
the
is kind
battlefield's full of people fighting.
Oh, that's really exciting.
It's weird. Yeah, it's I've never seen it before, and
Wow.
it throws up so many ways of pollinating. And number 5, I cannot talk about it anymore without mentioning
Yeah.
number 5, which is because what they've given themselves license to do is kind of imagine a future of, if everyone's just robots and there's like a sports league, what would it look like? So there's there's teams which are kind of like one of them's called Tech Noir, and they have like kind of futuristic sports team branding, which plays into their very different kind of abilities.
Yeah.
So I was playing as my main. My grav cycle was extremely durable, not particularly maneuverable, and I fired sticky mines which I could then detonate, sticky grenades. So tactically, I'm not very good at shooting other grav cycles because the grenade's quite hard to aim in the air. But I am quite good at stopping the crew from grabbing the objective and pushing it down the level, down the map. Other people were like sharpshooters with high damage, so they're much better at fighting ship to ship, or grav cycle to grav cycle. Another character had bouncing explosives, which is brilliant for just absolutely like chucking a ton of damage into a really tight space. And you kind of, then you understand once you mix that back with the dynamics of the objective game itself, where there's 5v5, you want certain people doing certain things in order to break the deadlock of everyone being quite durable and difficult to kill. So it's got loads of sort of potential, I think. It looks it's really, really interesting.
That sounds super interesting. That sounds like something like, a completely new take on several things that I'm already aware of. Like bringing those together, I mean, wow.
It's cool.
Multiplayer combatants with their own little teams. That's super cool.
I know, it is interesting, and it's nice to see original games. I just like seeing new stuff, new ideas. It's always really, really exciting. It's one of the reasons I love coming to shows, and just getting to play it out, even though it's quite early. The game's not coming out until next year. It seems good. I like it, and I'm really interested as well in playing this. Just show me a cool sci-fi campaign. Sure. I would like that as well.
That always gets my vote. Well, thank you, Nath. That was 5 things I needed to know and now do know, and hopefully everybody else knows as well. About Disintegration, which has only sort of just been announced properly and sounds right up my street. Thank you very much. Please do like this video if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything else from the world of PlayStation.
For the players.